Well, folks. First things first. Can somebody let me know if you can hear me properly? And then second thing, I need to figure out how to connect this chat thing here. So just bear with me for 2 minutes. Okay, you can hear me. Cool. And disconnect this. Is this gonna work? No, I'm not sure how to get this chat to work. I want to be able to see the chat. Mind you, it doesn't, I suppose it doesn't really matter for you. Bear with me with 2 seconds, and then what we'll do is, well, usually with these, I just go through live chat viewer, sorry. I just need to enter my account thing. Okay, you don't need to see that. I recently had a complete change of hard drive, and I upgraded my hard drive to SSD after using HDD for so long, and obviously it's changed a lot of things around. There you go. So we'll move this here. Can I change the opacity? I want to. I suppose it doesn't matter. There used to be an option to change the opacity of this, so it'd be like semi-transparent, which I kind of liked. Oh yeah, there you go. Oh yeah. This is cool. Okay. How are you doing, folks? Sorry about the mess in here. Yeah, so I changed my hard drive recently to SSD after being on HDD for probably a million years, and well, yeah, it's made a huge difference. It's actually changed the way I work as well, because I used to just plan my work and plan the loading times and my boot times and that kind of stuff, and now everything is just so instantaneous. But it also means I have to readjust all my settings and yeah, reload and relog in a lot of stuff over the past few weeks. But anyway, so I've been meaning to do one of these again for a while. I keep saying I'll do them every 2 months, and then 4 months goes, and I haven't done one, so I thought it'd be the perfect time because next week I'll be gone as well for a whole month. I'm actually going on holidays, and that should be nice. Fiona and I are going on holidays, but I have covers planned for this channel, obviously, and I have stuff planned as well for the 8-bit man shed. So there shouldn't be a gap, as far as we are concerned. There shouldn't be a gap in the rate of videos that are being uploaded. So the idea of these is just essentially go through just all your comments and questions, and if you have anything to ask, just feel free to ask. It's just a chat, really, because I'm not super sociable, so I don't go to conventions that much. That might change, by the way, but I don't go to conventions that much, and I don't go to events that much, and etc. etc. So yeah, it's cool to do these and to chat with people. So usually, yeah, I try to answer as best as I can. So if you have any questions, just fire away. It'll be cool to chat with you. So we have a few people. Nexus Syncus, hello, thank you. Hello. Joe Morrill telling me, yeah, you can hear me. Oh, Mechanical Koopa. The Mechanical Koopa is the guy. I don't know if you've watched the Castlevania. It's like the Banjovania video that I did, where I do all the musics from Castlevania, and it's played over somebody else playing, speed running, although it's not a speed run as far as he's concerned, but playing the speed running the game. I think it goes on for about 12 minutes or something like that. What's your record, Mechanical Koopa? But anyway, this is the fella that actually did the speedrunning gameplay. Thank you again. We should do it again. I want to do something maybe with Mega Man or something like that. I don't know what else you speedrun. Well, what else you speedrun actually? I know the chat here that you see here is probably a bit delayed, so actually I'm just replying to stuff on top of the heap there. Joe Moore, telling me yes, sound good. Everybody can hear me. Cool. I'm using a compressor as well, so there should be less up and down in my voice. Might lose a bit of quality, but it should be a lot more even. Benny Gurov, long time no see, dude. We used to chat a lot more actually on Facebook and in private chat. But how are you doing? I was wondering actually about you recently. I think one of your artwork came up in my feed. He does cool little black and white artwork. Just really nice. How are you doing, dude? TOWX Tarkin and Desert Rock covers saved me. Saved you? How did it save you? Or you brought you here, or brought you to this channel? Those Tarkin covers seem to attract a lot of people to the channel, which is interesting because very few people have covered them as far as mainstream VGM artists are concerned, and those Tarkin covers are attracting a lot of people from the Amiga scene, which seem to be forgotten as far as the VGM world is concerned. I mean, again, I'm going to sound like a broken record, but we're seeing a lot of stuff from Nintendo and specific games on Nintendo platforms, or kind of Sony, PlayStation type of RPG stuff. But platforms like the Sega Master System, or even the Genesis to some extent, but the especially stuff like the Amiga, stuff like the MSX. There's so many great tunes on the MSX. I want to do an MSX month this year, but platforms like that are vastly forgotten by a lot of artists, which is a shame, because this killer tunes and the Turrican tunes, Chris Hulsbeck's tunes especially, are absolutely fantastic. So yeah, I'm glad that brought you to the channel, dude. Thomas Erickson, big thumbs up right back at you. Old Dirty Gamer, what is up, yo? Well, here I am, just doing one of these videos. How long was it? Was it January when I did the last one? I don't upload these to this channel. I usually put them up to the Motherfokers podcast channel. But yeah, it's probably we're June now. It's a good few months now at this stage. Was it February? But I was saying I'll do another one sometime in March or April, and here we go. 2 months later. Mechanical Koopa, you're hanging in there. So good to see you back again. Thank you very much. It was good of you to be here. You're usually busy. Are you still busy streaming and speedrunning? You probably answered below. I just can't see them. Actually, what you're seeing here, you're seeing them before me, because I'm actually watching the YouTube stream, so I can scroll up and down, because there's no scrolling options in here. Anyway, TOWX, I'm from Italy, don't understand much. I'm sorry about that, dude. Yeah, well, it's gonna have to be English. I don't speak Italian. I did 2 years of Italian in college. And it's similar to, well, it's similar. It's closer to French than English is, and French being my first language, it was quite an easy path to learn Italian. But I never really practiced it. I went to Italy once, and I don't speak Italian. Spanish, I probably have more Spanish than Italian, and I never learned Spanish. But it just just because I was in contact with it a lot. But yeah, it's very similar to French. At least closer to English, but you know, it has to be in English here on this channel, so sorry about that. Thomas Erickson, have you done any covers on Zombie Ate My Neighbor? Would be awesome. You know what, I haven't. That's actually a good suggestion. I usually I get flooded with suggestions, by the way, and usually I'm like, oh yeah, why not? I mean, I have a huge list. I keep saying it's 7 years long now, but it's probably longer again. And usually if you liked it and you thought of it, it's probably in my list. I have stuff from the Spectrum and Commodore 64 as well in there. Very, very obscure stuff. But Zombie Ate My Neighbor, actually, I never considered it. It's not that I didn't think of it. I have the game here, but yeah, there's some cool tunes in there, actually. Yeah, that wouldn't be but I'm gonna just make a note here. But yeah, it's got some cool tunes. Yeah, why not? That's actually a good suggestion. I haven't had a good suggestion in a while, so thank you very much. Mechanical Koopa, any thoughts on doing some covers from the new Bloodstain Castlevania game? Yes, there's one from the 8-bit one. There's I mean, the music is absolutely sick on this, and I need. There's two ways. Like, if there's no MIDI file available already, I need to create one, because that's what I usually work from. And I mean, for stuff like Undertale and all that, I had to create the MIDI files, because I did that cover, the Fields of Hopes and Dreams, super early when Undertale came out. Like, it was like 2-3 days after, and I rocked up the MIDI file really quickly, so I could work from that. But I would need to make MIDI files from those tunes as well, because they're quite intricate. Just for ease and convenience, and I'm not sure, I haven't looked actually, maybe there's a few available, but it has some sick tunes as well. And yeah, I did think about it, and that might yet happen this year. That's what I'm gonna say. Morgan Just Games, hey dude, how are you doing? Morgan Just Games is a cool streaming, like live playing, where he plays games live, Amiga games, and nice bloke all around. But good to see you here, dude. Hey everybody, hello viewers, and of course hello Ollie, how are you doing? I'm doing very well, thank you very much. I've been working on just recording videos for the covers for the past 2 days. I'm kind of sort of fried, and I thought I'd use the rest of my time here just to chat to you guys. But yeah, the last 2 days have been quite intense. I think I had 5 videos recorded. I need to edit them now. I'll probably do that tomorrow, because tomorrow is a day off in Ireland, so I'll have that time. And then at the end next week I'm going on holidays, so I'll plan these. So they're released. There probably will only be, let's say, 2 or 3 covers in June, but there will be covers. Benny Gora, funny question. That is, what is the most outlandish instrument you ever played? It's here. It's probably the Uilleann Pipes. It's a bagpipe. It's the Irish bagpipe. This is what it looks like. So typically a bagpipe, you have a chanter, and you blow into a pipe, and it inflates the bag, and you just play with this. Now this thing has a reed inside. In this case, this is a plastic set. It has a plastic reed. It's very low on maintenance. But this thing, the Uilleann Pipes, like the Northumbrian pipes and the Scottish small pipes, is inflated with a bellow. So you put this under your arm, like this, and with this action, elbow action, you inflate the bag that actually pumps air into the chanter, into the reed, and that's how it plays notes. It's really hard, really tough instrument to control. Very temperamental, although this plastic one, it's this Delrin, it's a type of plastic, but are usually a bit more forgiving, and they don't move as much as wood, so they don't expand, or they're not, and the reeds are not susceptible to dryness, although that's never an issue really here in Ireland. But it's tricky, man. It really is tricky, and it's hard to control. Uilleann in Irish, in Celtic Irish, means elbow, so it's the elbow bagpipe. But yeah, it's mad. It's probably the toughest instrument I have. I mean, the fiddle, the violin is tricky, but it's nothing that, you know, with practice you can't master. The Uilleann Pipes, even with even masters sometimes have problems with the instrument, you know. So it's this variation, and this weather and air conditions and all that kind of stuff, which makes it a very temperamental instrument. And it's not unusual that I have to redo a lot of takes to get one good take out of it, because it's I'm not a master, I'm not an expert, and it's It's a tough one, and it's not pleasant when it's not played well. It's like the fiddle, you know. If you play the fiddle and it's not played by somebody who knows how to play it properly, it sounds way off, and it sounds like you're molesting cats, which is not a nice sound. Where was I? Oh, Dirty Gamer, I got you, Koopa. Okay, whatever happens there. Mechanical Koopa, my personal best for the speed run for Castlevania. That's what I was talking about earlier on. For Castlevania, his personal best is 11 minutes and 57 seconds. Dude, that is fast. I think my personal best on Castlevania on the MSX is probably like just under half an hour. Yeah. That's the time. The world record is currently down to 11:27:13 now. I'd love to see that. Actually, send me a link or put a link here. I'd love to see it. I don't know if people can post links, but put a link here so I'll have it, and then I can check that out. But man, that sounds crazy. Castlevania is such a cool game to speedrun, though, isn't it? Because it's just that right length of a game. You know, you don't need hours to complete it. I think the first time I completed it on the MSX was just 58 or 59 minutes. I remember timing it because I was so close to the end, and it was back then. It was back in the days, like the idea of speed running and using glitches and that kind of stuff. I didn't even thought of it. So yeah, that's insane. Just insane how that game has changed in past couple of months. Which game is that? Castlevania, you mean, or Bloodstain? I assume you mean Bloodstain with the new the graphic overall. Yeah, if that's what you mean. Yeah, it's impressive. But overall, I'm just not. I mean, I think the 8-bit version actually looks cooler than the full graphic one. I don't know. Probably get a lot of people to disagree, but yeah, I just I like the look of the 8-bit graphics a lot better. Yeah. Anyway, Benny Gurov. Where did he go? I'm doing well. Serving in the military as a contract graphic designer and video editor. That is that cool. Is that the military service you have to do? Is it 2 years where you are? Benny's in Israel, and you still have the mandatory military service there, don't you? We had that in France, and it was but it was like was it 10 months? I can't remember. I didn't do it because I was actually in Ireland, and by the time I got it delayed because I had a job and sort of a small situation family wise here, and then it got postponed until one day I got a letter saying I'd been exempted because they were phasing it out. So, and I never had to get into that, but it's a tough one because you have to put your life on hold for a while, and some countries still have that mandatory military service. Most of my family, actually on my mother's side, is in the military. My cousin is now lieutenant colonel for I think it's the southwest of the Air Force in France, but he was a pilot during the first Iraq War. Yeah, getting into a different territory here, but yeah, it's a lot of my family is in the military service. I never had to do it. I kind of wish I had now in retrospect, but I wasn't too pleased with having to do it back then. But anyway, but that's so cool. So you're working as a contract designer, video editor. What side of work? Like, is it? I wouldn't have assumed there was a lot of work, a lot of demand for that type of work in the military, but obviously there must be. What do you do? I'm just curious. I'd love to know, like, what is it you actually do, like, and what the customers are and that kind of stuff. Morgan, thank you very much for the amazing Shadow of the Beast and Turrican 2 covers. Yeah, no problem, dude. It was the Amiga month, and things happened during that month that I couldn't do as many Amiga tunes as I wanted. I had the Lemmings tune planned, and that might come out later this summer. And I had plans to do a couple more, but that didn't quite happen. But at least I got that Shadow of the Beast and the big one. Well, the Shadow of the Beast was cool. I'm very happy with that. But the big one was the Turrican, the final fight from Turrican 2, which is a behemoth of a tune. I think it was 7 minutes long. And that's still the longest, and it was the toughest cover I've had to work on. The International Karate Plus was long as well, but it wasn't nearly as hard to pull off as it's just the EQ and the sound was kind of tricky on this one, but the playing itself wasn't too bad. But the Turrican 2 final fight was the toughest and longest, and I think there was like 40 plus 49 tracks on this, just something ridiculous. It took so long. I'd started working on it, I'd say 2.5 months before it got released. Like I had to plan it well in advance. Nexus Incus, would you consider doing a Crash Bandicoot track? I did one as a collaboration with Lord Biff Music and Subversive Acid. Actually, really nice channels. Do check them out if you can. It's lovely stuff they do. And it was Lord Biff Music asked me to collaborate with him on the. Was it Dingo Deal? Is that Crash Bandicoot 2? Yeah, it might be 2. That came back in the news, Crash Bandicoot with that HD remake. Yeah, why not? Actually, again, it's not a game I have a lot of nostalgia for. I did have PlayStation at the time, back then, and I never got Crash Bandicoot. Actually, I have the I'm looking at the PlayStation original PlayStation CD here. By the way, this is what I'm propping my my camera with. Speaking of Castlevania and PlayStation, I have a pile of PlayStation discs here, and this is what I was actually bringing my webcam to level. But to answer your question, I haven't really looked into the soundtrack for the simple reason that it never really struck me that much, so I don't have that much nostalgia for it, and even musically I never clicked with it. But I probably need to give it a second listen, because you're not the first one to suggest that, and it gets requested quite a lot. So again, note, I came prepared here because I have a pen and paper to make notes of some stuff that I could check out. But that's a good idea. Crash Bandicoot, because it's been requested quite a bit, and it's a popular game, and I did get to play it years and years later. It's not my favorite game, for the simple reason that I'm terrible at it. It's just I can't. My hand coordination is bad for these type of games, and I just get frustrated really quickly. But it's not a bad game. By all accounts, there's a lot of people like it, so I'm probably wrong. Anyway, but yeah, no, I'll check it out. Consider it. I never actually listen to the soundtrack that much, so it might be the occasion. I might do that on holidays, actually, just download the soundtrack and give it a listen. Mechanical Koopa, not too much ODG, just hanging in there on a bit of a stream hiatus, but when I come back, I plan on running a good bit of Street Fighter 2010. Oh, okay. Another great game with such a rad soundtrack. Do you know, I'm not familiar with that game. Obviously it's not a fighter, because it's not a versus fighter, because you can't speedrun these. Well, unless you're playing solo. I don't know what type of game it is. Old dirty gamer, I'm all about fighting games. Fair enough. TOWX, well, you're still here despite the poor English, so that's great. Thank you very much for staying. Pierre Gonella has done Turrican, great Turrican covers. Is that the guy with the keyboard? I've heard a cool Turrican cover. I'm not sure. See, a lot of the covers are remixes. So what they are, they're essentially just remixes, MIDI remixes. So you download the VST, you change the sounds, and you upload it to a picture of Turrican. And then there's a few guys that have done metal covers. There's a guy that has done a medley of some Turrican covers as well that I've seen. I can't remember his name. That might be him. But there's a lot of metal covers, and look, I love metal and I grew up on metal, but it's a saturated genre now on YouTube. So I hear metal covers and I'm going, well, it's cool, but it's a metal cover. Like I'd like to hear something different, something original. And as much as I love metal, you know, I have a few electric guitars here, but as much as I like it, I love to hear something else or a different approach to just simply metal. But anyway, here it's in the beginning in 2016. Okay, oh yeah, fair enough. Yeah, I think that might be that keyboard guy, because it was that was a while back. But yours are more happy. Maybe actually the banjo is a happy instrument. Maybe that's why. Oh, Media Glitch, how are you doing, dude? Media Glitch has a cool channel as well. Check it out. I haven't checked your channel in a while. You're still doing those show type formats. That was a great idea he had. Media Glitch and I had. We'd planned to actually do an interview of him, or just a chat on the Mother Focus podcast, but I had to put that on a hiatus because I just don't have the time right now, and I haven't had the time for ages. You can see, like, there's a full workbench behind me, and I'm working on a lot of new projects and boards and repairs and that kind of stuff. And now I started making these guys, which are repro custom ICs for arcade boards. Like, these ones are for Kung Fu Master, IREM stuff and R-Type and things like that. There's a lot of customs on these boards that aren't reproduced, and there's a guy called Kais who does a great job. He's done actually a version of this one, and he was the first to do it. I don't think he's done this one, but so I'm working on the other two customs on that at the moment, and then I'll move on to other boards. But yeah, these are my side projects as well. So the podcast had to take a hiatus for a while, and instead of doing these every 6 months, it seems, even though I was going to do them every 2 months, but I don't have the time for them either. But good to see you again, dude. Actually, I should read your comment. When are you going to do something from the Revenge of Shinobi? Well, I have to do Shinobi first, and it's planned. Right now, it won't be out for... Well, it might actually be, but right now I'm working on some arcade stuff, some R-Type. I have more Golden Axe I want to do, and I want to do some stuff from Shinobi as well. So Revenge of Shinobi might have to come afterwards, though. Or was that the original one called Revenge of Shinobi? Or was it just called Shinobi? I forget. It was a few, and under a few different titles, depending on the region. So. And depending on the platform, so I get confused there. TWX, English was optional. Oh, you did French because of the Napoleon's laws. I'm not aware that Napoleon's laws in Italy made it compulsory in the 90s to learn French. Is that correct? Wow. I need to look that up. I'm going to make a note of that, and I'll learn this stuff every day. But he says English was optional then in the 90s. Wow. Okay, interesting. You never think to do some Luca Turilli covers? I don't know who Luca Turilli is. Can you tell me who he is? Mechanical Koopa. Yeah, the 8-bit Bloodstain OST is amazing. You should cover that if you can. It's just so good. Sorry about the chat delay, but yes, I will stream again soon. Okay, yeah, it's well, the chat delay is my own doing, because I'm bringing them in sequence, and there's quite a backlog now at this stage. But yeah, cool. Yeah, the 8-bit one. Well, the 8-bit's not an 8-bit one, but you know the one I mean. They're just, that soundtrack is amazing. The whole game is pretty good, and it came out as just a little freebie, but it turned out to be pretty cool. I also want to do the Messenger, and I think there's some cool tunes on that as well. I haven't started playing. I have it on Steam. I've downloaded it, but I haven't played it. Sorry. I hear it's got some cool soundtrack. I never played Celeste. which I'm told has great music as well. But it's just it's not my type of game. I'm terrible at it. I'm pretty bad at stuff like Crash Bandicoot, so stuff like Celeste or Super Meat Boy or any of these type of games. I throw the controller at the wall if I start playing them. Minius Maximus, hello Ollie, love the content. What got you into banjo playing in the first place, and what was the first tune you learned on it? Mine was Cripple Creek. Well, oh my, have you 3 hours? But what got me in the banjo in the first place? Well, I got in the banjo because of Irish music. I have all these instruments here, which a lot of them are used in Irish music. But yeah, I got the banjo. I've always had the banjo in my list of instruments, but it's not my main instrument. My first instrument was the flute, and well, the guitar was my first instrument. But in Irish music, it was the flute and the bouzouki, which is an accompaniment instrument, which I played pretty much exclusively for 20 years, something like that. I had the banjo because it was cool, and I was just learning tunes at home, Irish tunes, not bluegrass tunes. So I played the tenor banjo, which is not the bluegrass banjo. And when it came to, I don't know, when it comes to the channel, I started that channel, I think it was in 2014, and I discovered Smooth McGroove, and I thought I'd try something like that. And I looked at all my instruments and I was like, well, there's 5,000 versions of Castlevania on the electric guitar, so I'm not going to do that. On the acoustic guitar, it would be cool, but probably limited. The flute, not much I can do with the chromatic diatonic flute. So I started looking at my instruments, and I had the banjo, and I was like, oh, that'll be cool, actually. That'll be just quirky and different. So that's where it started. Like the banjo is probably my fourth or fifth instrument, and then the mandolin. Well, the mandolin is probably more prominent now. But yes, so it was. It just came just like that. Just wanted to try something different, and I've always wanted to play the banjo properly in sessions in Irish music, but it came to a point that I knew all these tunes on the flute already, and just having to relearn them on a different instrument was, I don't know, it was going to be tedious. And starting that channel with this channel with the banjo, then I was like, well, I'm going to learn new scales and new modes and new approach and just new placements and different approaches to doing things. And that actually got me excited, and that's how the channel grew and started, yeah. So I hope that answers your question. The first tune that I learned on it was probably an Irish tune. Can't remember which one it was. I don't know, Kesh Jig or something like that. It's one of those kind of starter tunes, like Cripple Creek will be in bluegrass. But the first tune I played on the channel was Castlevania, on the Vampire Killer on the banjo. Thomas Erickson, glad you like my suggestion. Yeah, well, when they're good suggestions, I'm gonna like it. What came first in your life, music or video games? Oh, I don't know. Probably video games. Because my dad worked at Philips in France, so we had the video pack, and I was like 4 or 5, something like that. And music wasn't even something I'd thought of, you know. I mean, I'd heard music obviously, but yeah, it wasn't a consideration. But playing video games, that probably came first on the video pack, and then we got the MSX. And then when I got the MSX, I discovered sorry, just gonna move my leg here. When I got the MSX, well, I was playing a lot of games, but I also discovered stuff like BASIC, and realized you could produce sound through BASIC. So that's when I started just making just sounds and sound effects, and then realizing you could make little two or three sounds, program 2 or 3 sounds together, and you'll get a few notes together or a chord. And so I got curious about that. Like, I would have been 7 or 8, you know. So then I started learning about how did that came up? I think I found I started looking at code in magazines. You'd get those magazines and they had listings of code, and looking at the music section, like how they program the music section, and started experimenting with it. And that's how I started making music. I didn't have an instrument then, and I moved on to the Amiga years and years after, and I was making music on Soundtracker and then Pro Tracker and then Octamed. And then I got a guitar. I would have been 14 or 15, and that was just so infuriating and frustrating, because at this stage I'd made entire composition on the Amiga, but I couldn't get two notes together on the guitar, so I had to sort of relearn all those skills all over again. It wasn't fun at the beginning. I hated it. I was like, oh, fuck is this shit? It's horrible. You can't do anything with this. But obviously the fun that you get, it's addictive. It is an addictive fun to playing an instrument, and you get into that little zone. And I got hooked to that, and I'm 44 now, still playing. Gunnar70, love your work so much. Take it, everybody. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Let me scroll. Mechanical Koopa, runners are pulling off 2 Psych Phase 1 track. This is Chinese to me right now, but and it's gotten crazy. Actually, a lot of us in the Castlevania community have added bits and pieces to this game to make it what it is today. I agree with the 8-bit Castlevania. Oh, interesting. What have you added then? What kind of stuff? Deskin, I would love to get Speedball 2 remake. What do you mean? A cover of the Speedball 2 theme? I've done that already. Last year, was it? Yeah, I've done it last year. It's on the channel, if that's what you mean. Yeah, I've done Speedball 2 already. I've done most of the Bitmap Brothers stuff. Gods, Speedball 2, Xenon 2. I need to find a way to do the Chaos engine properly. I might have it, but I'm stream issues here. Just bear with me, folks. It seems YouTube is getting problems there. Just gonna see. Can I get the? Oh, there you go. Okay. Let me get where was I? Yeah, the Speedball 2 remake. Yeah, YouTube is having some slight issues there with the earlier on. It seems it got better, but my upload speed might suffer a bit. So let me know if you're getting some disconnection, or if the feed is bad. Just let me know. I'm checking the most current comment as well here. But Gunnar70, do you have a favorite all-time game across all platforms, medias? Yeah. Well, for me, it's stuff from the MSX era, because that's where my nostalgia lies. So I'm probably gonna have to say it's a tie between Castlevania, MSX Castlevania Vampire Killer, it's called, and it's slightly different to Castlevania. It's quite good, but it's slightly different. And another Konami game called The Treasure of Ushas, which is a little hidden gem on the MSX, not well-known platformer, but it's really, really cool. I should probably do. I want to do actually just more little streams on Twitch as well, just showing a few MSX games and playing them and just chatting with you as well. But so I might do that on Twitch. I have my Twitch link somewhere on the channel. If you check my my video comments, you'll find the Twitch link there. But I might do that. I wanted to stream stuff like like Castlevania, like Treasure of Ushas, stuff like Hero as well on the MSX, which is it's probably the best version. I love it. There's loads of cool games like Hero and Beam Rider and things like that that are cool to play when you're chatting to people. So I might do that when I come back from holidays sometime this summer. So yeah, so there you go. Deskin, is there in here in Finland? It's still mandatory to serve. Yeah, well there you go. Yeah, it phased out in France, but yeah, there's still a lot of places. Is it a year as well, or is it more? TOWX, here in Italy, there's no more call for an army. Yeah, it's been phased out. That's fair enough. Benny Gurov says here, wow, it's 2 years and 8 months in Israel. Wow, that's a serious chunk of your life you have to dedicate to your country. It's quite intense. Plus the contract years you sign and get a normal salary. That's the other thing. Yeah, you get a wage. I didn't know France has mandatory service. It had. It doesn't anymore, but it had back in. It got phased out in the late 90s, but some people over a certain age, because they were born before the phasing out date or that kind of stuff, still had to do it, and I was in that bracket. But because I'd been in Ireland, it got pushed and it wasn't worth their time to pursue it, and it was just costing too much money to the government, so they phased it out. But I think the last few were in 2000 or something like that. Yeah, I think I was in California actually. I was working in Santa Monica. I was in America working for a year, and I think I got the letter that my girlfriend at the time forwarded to me in my address in Santa Monica, telling me that I didn't have to go back to France and do my military service, which I was quite happy about, because I just, my head wasn't there, you know. At this stage I was just trying to pursue a professional career and just establish my life in Ireland. Like, so going back to France would have been quite a shock, and I'd been gone for too long as well at this stage. But yeah, it was overall I'm glad I didn't have to do it. At the back of my mind I sort of wish I'd done it and experienced it, but it was like, you know. But anyway, Old Dirty Gamer, have you done Legendary Axe on the TurboGrafx yet? First stage music is awesome. No, I haven't actually. I haven't done that. It's been suggested a few times as well. Pug127, you're super cool, and thank you very much. I'm 44-year-old people aren't cool, but thank you very much. Benny Goroff, all right, it's pretty late here, so my time's up. See you, Benny. You're probably gone by the time you see this. Pug127, you should do a cover that looks That Kill. Oh, okay, sorry. You should do a cover of Looks That Kill by Motley Crue. Yeah, those. I'm a big Motley Crue fan, and I love, you know, I used to listen to that quite a bit when I was younger. But yeah, metal covers are tough. I back in my mind, I still want to do a few more, but the problem with doing these type of songs is that they get claimed. They get claimed straight away. Anything, all those series that I've done, they're all claimed. All those Metallica and all those songs, other songs that I've done, they get all claimed straight away. So, it takes a lot of work and effort. So it's disheartening when that happens. And I would do more if I had, you know, if I had more support on Patreon. I would be able to afford to spend the time doing these. And then I don't care if they get claimed, that's fine. But right now, it's not something I can afford to do. Like, it's just, if it get, you know, stuff like the Knight Rider stuff, you know, you get 200,000 views on it, but it's claimed, so it's might as well have no views whatsoever, because it's of no use. So not that I'm chasing money, but it's just, I mean, you need some return for your time spent, you know, and effort spent. So I'd love to do more like that, but right now, with the way the channel is, you know, it's healthy right now, but it's just yeah, it's really not worth the effort, which is unfortunate. Maybe in time when the channel grows a bit more. Yeah, the goal I think is to get to maybe 100,000 subscribers, and then, you know, if the Patreon support grows with it and that kind of stuff, then, you know, I'll be able to spend some more time on covers like that and series and full band covers and things like that. But yeah, anyway, I'm rambling. Mechanical Koopa, it was released on the NES. Street Fighter 2010. Okay, Final Fight. Oh yes. That's vaguely, yeah, it's vaguely familiar. With platformer. Actually, very great game made by Capcom. Yeah, that rings a bell, alright. Ray Norrish, hi Ollie, love the Speedball and Gods cover. Any thought of doing more Amiga stuff? Although you should know, also you must know of Rob Hubbard. Yeah. Any of his C64 work would be really interesting to see your take on it. Yeah, I know of him, of course. Yeah, and I'll do more Amiga stuff. I have more planned. It's you know, I have to do stuff from all platforms, and there's a clear preference for a lot of people for Nintendo covers, and it's inevitable that you do a few of these, you know, because first they bring a lot of views, a lot of subscribers, and a lot of enthusiasm, and so stuff like the Amiga is probably more obscure and doesn't do as well. But then again, there's a huge population of hardcore fans, of Amiga fans, that get really excited and are super supportive when they see an Amiga cover. So yeah, I'll do more anyway. Amiga is one of my loves, so I plan on doing more. I want to do stuff like from the N64. I think I figured out a way to sort of replicate those you know, those arpeggiated notes and chords on the that you find on a lot of N64 and chiptune sort of sounds. So yeah, I want to do stuff. I have stuff planned from the C64 anyway. That's all I'll say about it. I want it to be a surprise, and yeah, that's Pug127. Please do the cover that looks that kill. Oh yeah, okay, no. You've said that again. That yeah, I've been looking for wet covers of that song. Yeah, I know how you feel. It's just well, I have to make this time my channel viable, and that wouldn't be a viable use of my time, I'm afraid, doing stuff like that. Plus, I mean, I'm facing claims and potentially more. So yeah, right now it's not an option. EG the Hedgehog, hi. Bard, how are you doing, Bard? Happy birthday, Bard Snagglebug. Say happy birthday to Bard, everybody. This is birthday today. He's 29. Bard is one of the regular on the Discord server, if you want to check that out as well. Actually, the link is in all my videos in the description, so you can come in and join there. But the hardware is super cool to see. Which hardware? Avos the Azeroth, do tell us your story with Wonder Boy and Monster Boy production. Well, you'll see I'm wearing the sweater here that they've sent me. I think I've said that before, but yeah, not everybody. Actually, I think we've had probably 10,000 more subscribers to the channel since the last stream, so maybe there's a lot of new people here, but they approached me early on in the life of the channel back in 2014. I'd done one cover, the village theme, and they said it was FTG Entertainment, and said they were working on a new Wonder Boy game, and could we use your cover for a teaser trailer? So I was more than happy, and I said yes, absolutely, and they paid me for it, which is very nice. I would have said yes anyway, but I got paid, and they used the trailer, and it went really well. People got curious, and then I sent him an email. I said, look, thank you for the money, but I said I'm going to do more covers. So if you want to use them for any other trailer or any promotional bits, I'm more than happy to give them to you for free for use. You know, it's good for me, good for the channel. It was early days, and I could do with the promotion and plug and all that kind of stuff. So he said, well, thank you very much. We'll most likely do that. And then I think the week after, they came back to me and said, well, how about we put those musics in some fashion in the game. I was like, well, that would be great. And that we started talking, and the discussion evolved to there being a character called Ollie who plays the banjo in the game. And it evolved to that, you know, being a side quest in the game where you have to discover all these sheet music and unlock all these tunes. So that's really that took well from 2014 to last year, December last year, you know, 2018. So it was a long process for them. And I couldn't say anything for about 4 years. But it was interesting. It was because I think that was my second cover on the channel. So that came in really, really early in the life of the channel, and yeah, I'm delighted with it. And the game was great. It was, I mean, I enjoyed every second of that game, but that's really the story in a condensed and sped up way. E.G. the Hedgehog, if I may ask, what is your favorite song that you played? It changes every song I do. I don't know. I don't really listen to these much, but I'm probably most proud of stuff from the Amiga. You know, probably the Turrican tunes for sure. That Final Fight one. Although it's probably The Wall, the Turrican to The Wall that I'm probably I prefer from that lot, but it's because I like the original one as well. But stuff like the Final Fight, stuff like Gods as well, that was a tough one to pull off. Yeah, it's hard to say. I like them all. I wouldn't release them if I was happy with them to start with. Like, there's none of the videos that I would release I'm like, yeah, that'll do. It's usually I'm pretty happy and stoked. And I have stuff that I was like, meh, and I didn't release them because it was meh, and I don't want anything meh on the channel. So yeah, that's a tough question. I'd have a hard time answering, but it's probably the Turrican, The Wall, or the Final Fight tunes. Yeah, I'm gonna go with that. What made you come up with the term mother folkers? Well, it's just because folk music, all the folk music instruments, motherfuckers. That was it. Yeah, it's a very bad pun, a very poor joke, but it just, people kind of took to it and liked it. So, and I think it's kind of cool. It's kind of associate a word to the channel, and that worked. And I like when people, you know, come back to me and say, "Hey, motherfucker," or make folk puns and jokes. Yeah, that makes me smile, makes me giggle. How long are we going for here? I haven't timed it at all. Yeah, we'll keep going. This probably an hour. Actually, we're still doing this for an hour. Hold on. The danger with those streams is, as you can see, hear my voice strains after a while. So I have tea as well. Anyway, yeah, there's plenty of questions. Jeez. Autistic Gamer 89. Hi everyone. How's everyone doing? Well, you're very welcome here, dude. Thanks for stopping by, and obviously thanks for being subscribed to the channel. Nexus Incus, motherfucker. Sorry, yeah. Well, you know, I got what you meant. Old Dirty Gamer says that he's great to Autistic Gamer. Can't stop looking at that Sega Master System up there on the shelf. Oh, yeah. That's my old box actually from then, and that I have the deluxe set. I found this deluxe Nintendo set here at a local flea market years ago. Well, not that long ago. I think it was 2016. It's not that long actually, and that was 80 quid. In fact, I got the guy had a lot more NES. Like there's 3 more NES, and there's a pile of stuff, and I think I got the lot for about 100 euros, which is probably what, $120, something like that. Yeah, that was quite a steal. It's all working, it's all there, it's all complete. So is the Master System. It's in a box actually. I play, if I want to play the Master System these days, I just use the converter on the Genesis or the Mega Drive, and because it's just so handy. I'm running out of room in this place, and as you can see, like I need this place. I'm working on boards and all sort of stuff. So this is my sorry, this is my workbench right behind there. Like I used to have all these shelves and displaying games, but I need a space to work on those arcade boards and do my all my repairs and yeah, stuff. That's another hobby I have. Like if you don't follow the 8-Bit Man Shed, you should, because I could do with more subscribers on this channel there. Maximus, thank you for answering my question in such detail. You're welcome. Well, that's the point of these. I take my time and just try to answer everybody in detail if I can. But anyway, I've got to go now, but I'm good. Good luck with everything. Good luck, dude. I look forward to seeing your channel grow, as I know it will. Thank you very much. Bard, I've been doing well. Oh, he's replying to the Autistic Gamer. It was my birthday today. Happy birthday, Bard. I said that already. So time still goes by as usual. Oh, people are saying happy birthday to Bard. That's nice. Luca Turilli's Metal and Opera. Can't sing the link here, but search for it, Sublime. Okay, yeah, I will do. Yeah, I'll do that. TOWX. It's Italian Rhapsody. Yeah, Rhapsody. But I've a great English text. Your Enter Sandman is great also. Thank you very much. People are having full conversation in that chat. Don't mind me, folks. Bard Snagglebell. Hey Ollie, how dusty was the MSX I sent you when you unpacked it? It wasn't too bad. Bard sent me a pile of MSX games and an MSX as well. We did a swap. I had a box, a full box of well, I have boxes, but I had a lot of just Mega Drive games and NES games, and I was trying to thin down the collection because I realized that I just don't play those games. They're not really systems I collect for. I've thinned down my NES collection somewhere here to really probably 10 games or 15 games that I'm likely to replay. But other than that, if I want to experience them, I just emulate them really. But the MSX stuff, nah, I collect, and I'd rather have an MSX tape, even not working, than an NES tape, an NES cart working. But you know, such is collecting. So Bard had this MSX that he'd found at was it a charity shop, and a few MSX tapes and cartridge. So we did a swap. I got that a while back. Bard, by the way, I will do a mail video on the other channel sometime this month. I have to schedule it. It's recorded, but it'll be really sometime this month on the 8-Bit Man Shed, and I'll be showing all the instruments that people are sending me as well. I've received this oud here, this guy here. That's an oud. It's an Egyptian stringed instrument with no frets and way too many strings, and I'm going to use that at some point for a cover. Somebody sent me that keyboard that you've seen in the Mega Man 2 Anthem cover, and a Darbuka, which I used on the international karate thing. So I have a video coming up with opening all this stuff, and there's more that people have sent me. Like I'm just in awe of people's generosity. Like I've received a lot of stuff, especially this year. Arcade related stuff and gaming stuff and music stuff, and yeah, it's really cool. So thank you very much. If you're in the chat, Bard, I know you are, but if those people are in the chat, thank you very much. But yeah, no, I have a video coming up on the other channel where I show all this. Igunar70, there's a remix of the Chaos Engine, which is brilliant, and you could use that. If you don't know it, I would try and link it. My faves are God, Into the Wonderful, and The Last of Us. The Last of Us is one I'd like to do. My friend Lord Biff Music did one that was quite good, but I'd like to do a cover. That's such a great game. It's such a great game. I've played it twice, and I'm in two minds as to whether I want to replay it again, because it was great. It was great. A fantastic game. I'd forgive gameplay and quirkiness and awkwardness of gameplay for a good storyline, and that definitely was a good storyline. Mike Gontier, is it Mike Gontier? Is it a French name, or is it Gonthier or something like that? Oh my god, okay, I have to skip. Somebody just sent me a donation chat thing, and I think the etiquette for these is to read them first, so we'll skip to the end. But there, Saru Maru, proud Patreon for a long time follower here, since your first Wonderboy cover. Well, that's what kickstarted all this Wonderboy stuff. Monster Boy stuff, and I remember you were there almost day one. Your music and love the Ollie Otter cover. The Ollie Otter too. Yeah, that was a cool. We went actually through a few iteration of different animals that they could use for me, and we settled on the otter. See if I can find actually those. I saved some of the stuff that they sent me. See if my but thank you very much for your support first on Patreon, and thank you very much for your chat donation. Oh, here, let me share with you. I'm not sure if it's approved, but at this stage the game has been released, and it'll be fine. Let me see if I can add a source here. Okay, hold on. Smart selection. Oh yeah, we'll do something like this. Let me zoom in here. There you go. So this is all the animals they sent me. This was an early draft of the Jin character, and it's changed quite a bit since. But that was going to be it was either a fox. This guy, which I thought was a wolf first, and then can realize it was an otter, because this guy is definitely a wolf. So yeah, I had this, and then that turned into this guy, which is that cute. They send me all sort of stuff, like all these graphics as well, like actually no, sorry, you can't see this, sorry. Yeah, there you go. They send me all these early concept artwork and that kind of stuff, and this is what the final character ended up being like. Anyway, no, yeah. But thank you very much. Yeah, thank you for being here from the beginning of the channel. This channel, I mean, I say it every time, but my plan with this was not to have a channel, and certainly not to have a channel to the level that it's at now, and have, you know, all these super nice and generous folks just following it. So it was just cool. Thank you very much. Sorry. But thank you very much for the chat donation there. That was very nice, dude. So Mike said, "Hey dude, I love your music. The quality is incredible. Thank you very much. And I think it's just a matter of time before it becomes viral." Well, thank you. The viral thing is funny, because I've had some video go viral, like the Metallica one went pretty viral. The most of my full songs, actually, what I'm drawing a blank now. The Knight Rider one recently went quite viral as well, but it's just it's gaming as well, you know, and it's banjo, and people hear banjo, Guy Ollie, and to go, yeah, it's probably not my thing. Yeah, it's funny. It's a funny thing. And then there's so many channels around. It's hard to get any sort of traction. But I mean, I'm not complaining. The channel is going well. I like what I do anyway. So, if it was still 5,000 subscribers or maybe less, I'll still be doing it because I like doing it. And whenever I don't like doing it anymore, I won't do it anymore because, yeah, that's how I am. But thank you very much. Yeah, hopefully, maybe we're on the way to 100,000 subscribers. Sometimes in the next few years, it'll happen. Gunnar70, I recall the computer and video game magazine which had code to input in free games. Yeah, I was talking about figuring out how to program the sound chip in BASIC. Used to take ages on the Spectrum, and most time it wouldn't work due to bugs. Yeah, and then you typos, and yeah, it was a nightmare. But that's what we had to do, and we did it. You couldn't do that anymore. You couldn't ask somebody to write 1,000 lines of code out of a magazine. If they can't copy it, paste it, forget it. It's not happening. But back then, yeah, we just had to type it, and then it'll be gone if you don't save it onto a tape, which is a hazardous process as well. It would be gone. Thomas Erickson, we are really spoiled having you on YouTube. Dude, thank you very much. It really feels very rare with somebody doing video game covers. Lots of feeling, all those acoustic instruments, and lifetime of practice. Yeah, I know what you mean. I know what you mean. YouTube is a very, very young ecosystem, so it's a lot of just much younger people. I mean, again, I'm 44. I don't mind being 44. I actually quite enjoy it. But the most YouTubers are much, much younger, and so I'm competing with that as well. And it is what it is. It's just I could spend my time complaining about it, or I just could get on and just at the end of the day, I just want to make music. And like you said, yeah, I've quite a good experience of just playing live and playing acoustic instruments and recording over the years. And it took a while for me to find exactly what I wanted to do for this channel. And the first, because I had no equipment when I started, so they were fairly rough. But as the channel evolved, and I got equipment, and I got sent stuff and donated stuff, and I was able to produce just better covers. But I think, it does come. Music comes with experience. A lot of the time, you could have young geniuses as well, and there is no shortage of that as well on YouTube. But I think it does help to have, because the problem with a lot of covers or cover channels, either they're very conservative in their approach, or either they're super flashy, and a lot of it lies in technique, which I try to. I mean, there's a few technical moments in some of my covers, but I try not to overemphasize them, or not to even show them sometimes. The stuff in the background that is quite hard to play, but I don't show it because there's no reason to show it. It doesn't serve the video, and doesn't serve the flow of the video or the tune. So yeah, that doesn't quite answer your question. I got sidetracked there, but thank you very much anyway. Avas the Azeroth, do tell us your story with Wonderboy. I read all that already. Oh yeah, sorry. Avas the Azeroth. There's a delay in because I'm reading them sequentially. So the latest one, it'll take me a while to get to it. Anyway, Morgan just game. Tough question for you. What's your all-time favorite game? Can I answer that earlier on? Well, not quite. I said my favorite game. But yeah, no, my all-time favorite game, purely strictly for nostalgia reasons, and the way. Yeah, because I was just a kid then, and it was my first just amazing games and that kind of stuff. But yeah, probably it's a toss-up between Vampire Killer, Castlevania on the MSX, and another Konami game called The Treasure of Ushas. Like I said, I'll probably need to do a live stream playing on Twitch, showing it, because it's quite a cool game. Or maybe I'll do a live stream on the other channel, so at least it stays there I can refer people to it. I might do that because I just don't care for Twitch. It's just there's no. Yeah, I don't like Twitch. That's all I'm going to say. Morgan Just Games, have you bought any more arcade machines? No, I think the last one was 1942, that conversion from a poker cab. But I have no more room for arcade machines because I have quite a few now. I have that Frogger table that's in our living room, and then I have so I've Outrun, Pinball Gladiator, I have Kung Fu Master, Pac-Man Cabaret, Galaga, Arkanoid, Double Dragon, Bomb Jack. What's beside Bomb Jack? It's Crazy Kong, which was the European clone of Donkey Kong, and I have 940, so I have 11 in there. It's quite a tiny room, so it's quite packed. That said, I saw an ad for recently. Somebody dropped the price on one of their arcade, the Sega Touring, or Sega Rally, or Sega Touring, which is those sit-down cabs. They're black and yellow, very cool. But they have it for 185. It's to collect, but I might be able to do that. So that's not a lot of money for one of those cabs. So I'm very tempted, and I actually saw it just before starting the live stream. I was like, which shall I do? Will I send an offer, but I haven't yet. I need to sleep over it. Hopefully, if it's still there tomorrow morning, that's a sign. Nexus Inc. is gotta get going. Good night and have a great day night. Thank you very much to you too, dude. Saru Maru, oh yeah, that was your. What are these chats where people donate money? Are they super chats? Is that what super chats are, or top chats? I never know. But yeah, thank you very much. Gunnar70, thank you for answering my questions. Just finished The Last of Us for the second time, and I will definitely therefore have a third go. I'm so glad you have played it. Can't wait for part 2. Yeah, likewise. Although, I couldn't wait for part 2 of Red Dead Redemption, and as good as the game is, because it's very good, it just didn't have that edge that Red Dead Redemption had, I think. So yeah, I'm on edge about Last of Us 2, because it's just. The first one obviously so novel, and I'm trying not to expect anything from it, and I was doing that with Red Dead Redemption. But as good as it is, because it's fantastic, it just didn't have that super just novel and dead cool edge that Red Dead Redemption, the first one, had, or the first one on the Xbox 360, because Red Dead Revolver was on the Xbox as well. But yeah, no, I'm looking forward to it. Rodrigo Fernandez, I am sorry, I don't speak Portuguese, so Alberto Gonzalez, love your work, it's fantastic. Thank you very much, dude. Scoot Diggity sent a message and retracted it. Fair enough. Gunnar70, you are still a baby. I am almost 49. Nick the Wise, I'm 33 this year. Somebody call a wet nurse. It's gonna get weird here. Bard, my beard is only now coming to the length needed to be 30. Hence, it was my birthday today. 1 year closer to that dreaded moment of dirty 30. I love my 30th birthday. I don't know why. Couldn't wait to get out of my 20s. But yeah, that's your last birthday in your 20s. Your last year in your 20s, dude. Think about that. Saru Murray, is Ollie a Neo Geo fan? I think I see some MSV fan. Yeah, cards. Yeah, there's some MSV. It's hard to do in reverse. Where am I? Yeah, there's some MVS cards here. There's a motherboard here that isn't working. I need to fix it. But I have a few. Actually, Bard, that's just above, sent me one recently. What was it? The King of Monsters 2 or something like that. I need to fix that. I don't have a dedicated cab for it though, but you know what I love is one of those mini Neo Geo cabs. No, it's not the red ones, but they had wood grain on it, wood grain type of stuff, and I think they were a 2-slot one. But I love those I love the aspect ratio of those cabs. They look that cool as well. So I'd love one of these. There was one in Coin Up Warehouse a while back. It was last year, and I didn't have any money at the time to get it, and sure enough, it was gone after maybe a week or a few days. So I missed on that. I could have put an offer and pay a bit later, but I don't like doing that. You know, I don't want to live on credit. So yeah. Missed on it, but if it came up again, I'd love to get one at some point. Gunnar70, when I can, I will do. I'll definitely donate to the channel. No worries, dude. I wasn't trying to say anything, but to help you. But in the meantime, I share your work as much as I can on social media, friends and family. Well, thank you very much. That it makes such a huge difference when people share. And I can see it in how the cover does, you know. When people start sharing it, you can pretty much easily double your views really quickly. And it's when we talk about things going viral, that's how things go viral. It's people sharing them. So people aren't sharing covers, it's not going to go anywhere. So you can't rely on YouTube to do the work for you, you know. Because that's not its job. They just provide a platform. A lot of people get angry at YouTube because they're not pushing or promoting their content, but it's not YouTube's job. They're just providing a platform. The fact that they're pushing some people, well, that's nice and well, but I mean, if it's not you, then it's no good to you. So I never get mad at YouTube for being YouTube. It's viewers' habits, and it's viewing habits, and I'm guilty of it for a lot of channels. I follow a lot of channels, and very often I don't share the video because I forget, or I'm just selfish, you know. That's just the way it is. But thank you very much for sharing mine. That's really cool. Smeller B, is that what it is? Smeller B, have you thought of playing Final Fantasy VII? You're awesome, by the way. Thank you very much. I've done one way back then. It was the boss, that boss fight from Final Fantasy VII. But I never really played much Final Fantasy, and I wouldn't have time to play the games anymore because, you know, I just don't have that kind of time, that kind of free time anymore. But I know the series and the soundtrack is very popular, and yeah, Final Fantasy is funny. It's requested a lot of different games from Final Fantasy, but I just it's been done by a lot of people, and it's been done really well by a lot of people. And I'm trying to probably offer something different on this channel. So I don't know how I feel about the Final Fantasy games in general, and I don't know how I feel about the soundtrack. Yeah, whether I want to get into that can of worm, because that's a different realm already. But there's a ton of people doing it really well. So I'd rather leave it to them, you know. And it would be time spent away from doing stuff on the Amiga and other obscure covers. So probably not for a while. No, probably not. I might do like sporadically one or two here and there, which is what I've been doing over the years. So I think I've done 3 from the Final Fantasy series. There was the something from the how was it called? On the PSP, Final Fantasy 7 something, I can't remember. The one on the PS1 and one on the PS2, and I forget which is which. It was a while back, I'm sorry. But it's some cool tunes, don't get me wrong. It's just it's a very involved series, and I have to spend time first playing it. Thomas Erickson, my favorite album of all time are every album by Cream. What's your favorite album, and do you like Cream? You know what, I'm not familiar with Cream at all, but my favorite album of all time, it's probably gotta have to think about it. It's most likely Appetite for Destruction from Guns N' Roses. She is huge Guns N' Roses fan. So yeah, it'd probably have to be that. Nick the Wise, on the subject of cabinets, did you ever have a good time on those 4-player arcade games like The Simpsons or X-Men? We had a lot of Sunset Riders here in Texas. Awesome soundtrack. Yeah, I played the Turtles and Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. there was a was it a 4-player version in my local arcade back in France now. They had a big, it wasn't the big 4-player cab, but it was one you had to sit down in. It was a giant screen, and every now and then they changed the game, but there was a 4-player version of that. It was really cool, really, really cool. I didn't get to play the Simpsons or X-Men at the time. I think that was the only 4-player game I got to experience. There was Gauntlet as well, which I like, but that was 3 players, wasn't it? That wasn't 4 players. I remember it was once in Guernsey, which is in the Channel Islands, off the coast of France, and there was a Gauntlet cab, a 3-player one. I was a kid then, I was like, oh my god, this thing is so cool. It was big, it's a big cab, and those boards, the Gauntlet boards are huge as well. Anyway, Gunnar70, someone else said that about Red Dead 2, which is a shame, but hoping Last of Us will be fab. You have a lovely community here, but I have to go now. Thank you. Take care. Good night. Well, dude, thank you for stopping by. And the thing about Red Dead Redemption 2, I think the novelty had probably gone after Red Dead 1, which was just such a tremendous game and really, really strong. And it was always going to be hard to beat. I think they did their best, and it's still a good game. It just didn't have that same impact that the Red Dead 1 had. That was the Azeroz. Rodrigo Fernandez from Brazil said, oh yeah, good night, I'm Brazilian, your job is awesome, congrats. Oh, fair enough. Yeah, I get a lot of comments in Portuguese on the channel, which sometimes it's hard to read. I get stuff in Russian as well, which obviously I can't read or understand. Nick the Wise, take care, Gunnar and Vaz. Have a good night, evening. Okay, people are being very civil and polite in the chat. It's nice. Nick the Wise, or is it Nickel the Wise? Sorry, I've been mispronouncing your name for a while. Read the 2 stories pretty easy going, but did you find yourself just riding around enjoying the hunting, pathfinding and sight stuff? Yeah, I did as well. Not as much as in the first one, but I did as well. I mean, that's really the attraction in the game, is just chilling and discovering places, and then it turned more into a Grand Theft Auto than Red Dead Redemption, the first one did, but it was still very cool. The exploration and just the wandering and just doing mundane stuff is just probably where the fun lies in that game. Really, really fun. I'm not saying I didn't enjoy it. I'm saying it didn't have the same impact, but it's still dead cool, you know. Nicola Wise, actually, what I'm saying, Red Dead 2 storyline had me unsure of who to strangle first. Yeah, exactly. And we're coming to the end here. Oh no, I think I need to refresh my chat. Just let me do that. Oh, I can actually scroll here. I even didn't realize this. And actually, my chat isn't being refreshed in here. But anyway, I think we're coming to the close to the end here. Daniel Campos, say hi to your fans from Brazil. Hi, fans from Brazil. Yeah, there's a lot of people from Brazil in the chat, or on the channel in general. And why is this chat not refreshing? Have we reached a limit or something like that? Anyway, it doesn't matter. Thomas Erickson, thanks for your answer. Good night, and I'll keep my hopes for zombie covers. Fair enough. Fair enough. Kissy Foda, what age did you discover your musical ability? I don't know. I don't think I have any great musical ability. I just have a lot of instruments I play relatively averagely. Don't know. I first started playing the guitar when I was 14. Yeah, I have no, I don't have an answer for this, because you never stop learning. You know, when you're if you have any type of craft, you never stop learning. So I don't think I discovered any sort of ability at any rate. But TOWX, do you know the Settlers French game? The Amiga game, the Settlers. I thought it was a German game. I'm not sure that's yeah. Anyway, Avos the Azeroth, if you could create music for a game, what game would it be? I don't know. I've no idea. I don't think I would be tied to a specific genre of game anyway, but yeah, I don't know. Stuff like platformers, probably, you know. So yeah, I have to think about it, but yeah, maybe actually maybe something like Monster Boy, but it doesn't. I mean, that's the great thing about video game music nowadays, is just it's not tied to a specific genre, so it could be anything, really. It could be anything. It's an interesting question, but I don't think there's a specific answer really to this. Nickel the Wise, sorry to sound off so much, Ollie. No worries at all. You're one of the best musicians on the internet. I'd have to politely disagree, but thank you very much. Once I found your Bayou Billy cover, I was all Pencho guy from here. Thank you. That was that cover didn't do quite well initially when I first launched it, and then it just gathered momentum and keeps picking up more and more views. It's funny, like, it's because of what I do, especially the video game music covers. You have that initial push from subscribers, which is minimal. Usually the views from subscribers are like 20%, 25% at most. So most of the views on the channel or on any covers, 75% of it is from people who are not subscribed to the channel and discovered the channel or discovered the cover through searches. So that, at least that's what the stats tell us. So yeah, only 20 to 25% of subscribers actually watch the videos. So most where was I with this? Where was I going with this? Oh yeah, so that cover for some reason is actually just keeps picking viewers and momentum over the years. So it's interesting. It's actually one that is probably suggested the most actually by YouTube to other people. So it's funny, but there you go. That's how you found the channel. It's interesting. Avos the Azeroth, your chat is not refreshing because of a Streamlab bug. Fair enough. Yeah, well, not much I can do about that. Oh, Nickel the Wise. Oh, and speaking of platformers, this Control-like called Super Cyborg. You should look into. Awesome soundtrack and difficult challenge. I will do that. Folks, I think this has been plenty. My voice is starting to strain, and I can only drink so much whiskey until I can't speak anymore. But it wouldn't be a bad time. An hour and a half isn't a bad time for one of these. Nikolai was music by a Russian musician called Darkman 0072 claims he got started on ZX81. I think interesting. Yeah, I'll check it out, dude. Thank you very much for the for the suggestion. Oh, Gadget UK. There you go. I come to your chat, you come to mine. It's really cool. Gadget UK, check him out. He does like I do on my 8-Bit Mansion channel. He does repairs. And he's been a great source of information actually for me, for just general troubleshooting methodology and use tools, what tools to use and that kind of stuff. Because 3-4 years ago, I didn't know any of this stuff, and him, Jan Beta, and a site that I'm now a contributor on, which is jamarcade.net. have been great sources of just knowledge on how to troubleshoot your computers and machines and that kind of stuff. He's got a great videos on Neo Geo stuff as well. Really like your Neo Geo repair. I have 2 for repairs and I'm just dreading it. They are a nightmare. these boards. Yeah, so thank you very much. Yeah, I would encourage everybody to check out Gadget UK 164. Cool channel. And yeah, are you still streaming? You've been doing a few live streams recently, I've noticed, but it was cool to. I've watched a few, but I only commented on that last one, I think. TOWX, yes, it's German. I told this because I discovered it in France. Good night. Oh, the Settlers. Yeah, it's German. It's a German game. Oh, fair enough. You played it in France first. Cool. Nickel the Wise, last question, I swear. What is Ollie's whiskey of choice? It's kind of good. I mix it with tonic, so it's usually whatever is cheapest. I do like Jameson, actually. If it's just straight, yeah, I like Jameson very much. Gadget UK 164. Love the Reaper and the music on your channel, dude. Thank you very much, dude. Thank you very much. And oh yes, I might do some more stream at some point, just taking the opportunity to test it. I think I need a new PC before I do another stream. Yeah, I think your stream was experiencing a few disconnections and things like that. I was on one, not the one I commented on, but the one before. I literally had joined in and I left a comment, said hi, oh hello, you're streaming now, or something like that, and you went off, and I was like, oh, what did I do? What did I do? I thought it was actually me. Anyway, Saru Maru, does Ollie like the PC Engine? Yeah, I do very much. I remember a friend of mine had the PC Engine at the time. We'd never heard of it, and he was in a shop in a place called Angoulême in France, and I think he wanted to buy. What did he want to? I can't remember. And this came of the vendor said, "Oh, but don't worry about that. I'm going to show you this." And he hooked up the PC Engine, and we played. What was that game where you turn into a robot? Can't remember now. We played this, and we played Bonk's Adventure, and he was hooked. He took it straight away. It was great. We spent an afternoon playing this, and then I was playing at his place afterwards. I never owned one, and I'm hesitant to get one because I just don't have much time to play these days. And I've played a lot of these games on the emulator as well, so. I can't really. Keith Courage, that was it, yeah, Keith Courage. So I can't really justify the cost now anymore. I'd love one though. I'd very much love one. I got a Vectrex recently. You can see it here. There. So that needs a recap, but it's working fine. And I got this a couple of weeks or a month ago, 2 months ago. Time flies, but yeah, I got this a while back, and I'm just having fun with that. It's actually a great little system, and it's so tidy, and it just fits everywhere. So it's a cool one to just plug in for a quick game and shut down. Most other consoles, you need a big screen, or you need a big setup. This is all in one. You can put that anywhere and then play it. Nick the Wise, fair play then. Jameson is excellent. Merci beaucoup for the chit chat. Look forward to more of your work. Yeah, Deltarune is still the best. Those Undertale and Deltarune fans, they're hardcore. It's got some cool tunes. Actually, that Fields of Hope and Dream is really, really cool. I have to say, like, Toby Fox has a talent for telling a story through music, which, I mean, you could say that of a lot of composers, but him especially really has just a natural ability to weave an entire story within one piece of music. You know, it's a rare ability. Nick the Wise, also PC Engine, but you didn't play Splatterhouse. No, I haven't played Splatterhouse actually. Yeah, probably don't want to. I don't know. Yeah, maybe I will try. I should try it. Anyway, folks, I think now this 1 hour and 40 minutes is plenty. So what I will do with this, I'm not going to leave this on the channel. Usually, I upload the full stream to the Motherfokers podcast channel. So if you want to rewatch that, or if you came in halfway and you want to rewatch the full video, just head to the Motherfokers podcast channel. It's in the in those other channels and the tab on the right hand side of the screen or something like that. So head there and you'd be able to watch the replay in at least a few hours or maybe tomorrow. But I think we will leave it here, folks. Thank you very much for joining, and thanks for the support and the encouragement. And I'm going to do my best to do these more often, and maybe in 2 months, maybe at the end of the summer or something like that. I know I said that the last time I'll do it in 2 months, and it was 5 months, but I just keep forgetting, and then you kind of have to be in the mood for this. And I don't want to flood the channel with streams, at least not this one, you know, at least not this one. But this is where most of the people are, so I know I'll catch a lot of people on this channel. Anyway, folks, thank you very much, and well, we'll see you in the next channel coming up soon sometime. See ya.